Ah, the Nintendo Switch. Well, with the Nintendo Switch 2 just coming out, I thought there was no better time to get around some cool gadgets to boost your potentially now outdated Nintendo Switch 1. But I've heard some reviews on the 2, battery life not so good, screen really heats up after being used, and apparently free roam in Mario Kart is only one player. What's the point of that? That's right, I have 3 must-have 3D printed gadgets to boost your Nintendo Switch game. Boom! I think the second one especially, it's my favourite out of the 3. So quit lacking, let's get cracking! Let's start things off with number 1. Ta-da! Boom! The only downside to the Nintendo Switch that I've experienced is the controllers. They are super painful to hold. But a product like this saves the aches and pains in your joint while you're playing Mario Kart and trying to dominate your family. Sorry, I'm trying to hold this so the camera focuses in on it. As you can see, this is a perfectly fitted shell for your Nintendo Switch controller, complete with your left and right toggles up above and really sturdy grips on each side. This makes your gameplay much smoother, and really you haven't got that same hand cramp from trying to bend your fingers up and around that top area. Now I know you can buy things like this from the store, but this is 3D printed. If you have a 3D printer, you can make one of these at home for free. Who doesn't want that? Or if you have a friend that's obsessed with the Switch, this is the best present you could give them. Now Mario Kart's kind of my jam, and definitely this thing has made me able to play it for a much longer amount of time. And it's good to color code, so you know, you have his and hers. Now both of these have been printed out on PLA filament. I think it's PLA matte, not basic, so I think that gives it just a bit more of a plain kind of look to the colors, which is, hey, it's cool. I quite like it, if I'm being honest. But what I like about it is, again, because PLA is kind of the universal of all your filaments, it's really sturdy, it's really strong, because it's such a compact little device. Look, you could print this out in something like a PETG or anything like that, but I really think it's overkill when you're not going to need it, because this fits perfect. It's not going to bend under the heat of your hand or anything like that. Yeah, purely I think it's your preference, but PLA is cheaper, PLA is great, and I think color is pretty superior on PLA products, especially this matte. It really gives this kind of, I don't know, like comic kind of classic Nintendo style to these controllers. Really big plus. Without Without further ado, let's go to number 2. I can't say that. That's weird. That's weird. Now on to number 2. I'm really hoping that this focuses in on it, because this is brilliant. Number 2 is a Nintendo Switch controller that holds a canned drink as you play. That's right, the designer of this really knew what they were doing for a few key features on this guy. First off, on both left and right, you've got the perfectly sized grid slides for both of your Joy-Con controllers to fit in. This holds an average size can, has the Nintendo logo kind of embossed but reversed, where it sticks out, coming out of it, but that doesn't feed through onto the inside of the can holder, which is phenomenal. And they were so smart in putting a little bit of a hole here at the bottom. So if your can is cold and it's icy and it's got that kind of dew on the bottom, it's actually going to come out like normal. So you just sit this on a coaster and you have no problems. Otherwise, if there was a potential, it could just fill up in there and get kind of moldy or wet and sticky, and it's not a good thing. So with a slide to the left and a slide to the right, then crisscross, I now have the perfect companion as I'm playing a probably less intense game of Mario Kart, Smash Bros, whatever you fancy. It sits beautifully, it's really sturdy, like I can't just kind of slip and slide these guys out. I did notice though that when I've got one hand kind of off of it and I just want to push it up, it does detach, but for some reason when I've got both hands in and try and slide, I don't know if this is doing it, trying to slide up the pressure, I can't see. By itself I can, but when they're together, it doesn't that did a little bit, but it really doesn't seem to move. So well done, Mr. Designer. You've done well. The only thing I will mention is if you are playing a very intense game and you are a little bit like me and you tend to get a little bit excited as you're moving things around, this could be a recipe for disaster. The game's intense, last level, boss level, whatever, no more lives, can of drinks inside, and you get a little bit excited or yeah, you can kind of see what would come of that. But hey, still my favorite on the list. Printed it in orange. Again, this PLA matte just gives a beautiful kind of Nintendo-y classic look to this. I am, super impressed. The guys that made this, be very, very proud of the work you do. This rocks, you rock, all download it, all go get it. As a matter of fact, if someone wanted to get this and cover the hole, hit the microphone, sorry. Cover the hole, you could make it into a snack holder. Now that's fancy. Or you could put a flower in it and give it to your loved one. Nothing says romance like giving a flower in a game cup controller before crushing them into the dirt in Mario Kart. Love. Now it's time for number 3. Now number 3 goes a little old school and kind of pays homage, fromage, cheese? No. Plays homage, okay, I don't know the word, pays its respects back to the original Wii console. Now, when the Wii came out, it was one of the most anticipated consoles ever created, and for good reason. It had that cool brick-style controller, it was all motioned, it was really one of the first of its kind. I know PlayStation had iToy, it just, I don't know, wiggling around and hitting little monkeys felt weird when you can hold this and kind of do bowling straight down the line. But one of the best parts of this, again, I refer back to Mario Kart, was being able to physically hold this and turn as you play. But there was one gadget that made that Wii remote just that bit better. When I found this, I got very excited because it's my wife's favourite accessory for the Wii remote. That's right, the Wii steering wheel is back. Honestly, when I found this online, I got so excited. I felt like I kind of came out of a time capsule here because it took me straight back to my childhood. I remember playing on the Wii using this type of remote and thinking it was the coolest thing ever. I remember, I think Mario and Luigi on the front of the Mario Kart cover, they were kind of floating, holding these remotes. It just made you feel you were a bit more connected into the game. Now obviously this is sized so it fits the Joy-Con controller, which is awesome. I've printed this off again in PLA matte, not basic, matte filament, which gives it again this smooth kind of comedic comic book style. The pink is awesome. It's kind of like a lolly type pastel pink, but again, you don't need to print this in anything extra. It's super thick. There's so many walls and layers in this. It took like, I think, an hour to print at most. It's awesome. The only complaint I have is that top spot still is a bit tricky for your fingers to get into, so while it's really comfortable for your hand to hold, getting your fingers into those grooves to press those tiny little Joy-Con buttons kind of becomes a bit of a problem again. But if you're already used to the pain and really want an accessory like this, 3D printing just got a whole lot cooler. And once again, like all this stuff, you may not like it, but if you've got a friend that likes it, or you're going over for a party, you've got your printer, you've got time and maybe some spare filament, this cost, I think it was not even 100 grams of filament, way under that. It could have been like 30 or 20, hardly anything. It was just brilliant, and yeah, definitely brings a lot of fun. I'm drinking this backwards for you. I'm sorry, I pre-cracked it. I got excited. Tastes like victory. So hey guys, that's it. They are 3 3D printed accessories to boost your Nintendo Switch 1 console. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Like this video and comment below what you'd like to see me print next. Nothing is off the cards, there's a world of things to print, and I'm excited to get out and really print as much as I can. Also, anyone out there that has the Nintendo Switch 2, can you please answer some of my questions earlier? Is the battery life not that great? Does the screen get really hot after a long period of time? And please tell me that Mario Kart Free Roam is not one player. Well, let's go. That was a terrible Mario impression. Anyway, see ya!